silence is golden. I don't know. It felt like an appropriate way to start off the episode.
Very much.
Yeah. And just to get straight into it, I think there's like two ways to look into silence. Because I'm actually thinking about the past weekend when you get two types of silences. You get the comfortable silence, and you get the awkward silence, right?
Yep.
Now, what determines whether the silence is comfortable or awkward? Basically it's about how the person feels, maybe, in that frame of time or something. But anyway, I was just saying it got me thinking about the past weekend because someone mentioned that we were having a chat and they said, oh, now it just got really awkward. And I said to him, yeah, it only got awkward because you said it was awkward. No one was feeling awkward before you said it got awkward, like kind of thing. So it's like, it's two ways of looking at it, like, but that's just how it goes, What do you think?
Well, I mean, for sure silence becomes awkward once someone makes it awkward, but for also I think that for some people silence is just not a natural thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I mean, for me, personally, I like silence. It doesn't bother me. I think that on the contrary, it somehow like soothes me down. It's not that I don't like sounds, I like them, but I think that somehow for the mental health and also for the kind of rest for our ears, it's good to be silent for a bit and sit in quiet.
Yeah. I mean, it's good, like, silence is the best sound sometimes. I mean, in terms of what's going on upstairs, like in the head. If you have silence in your mind, your life will be so peaceful, like, it's amazing. I mean, that's what a lot of the Buddhists and people who practice meditation often, that they generally make that a big priority with their meditations, is the silencing of the mind, And that's, I think, such a beautiful concept,
Well, especially nowadays, I mean, having a silent moment, it's really challenging. I mean, for many people, if they live in the cities, it's like basically noise from the early morning till they go asleep, and it's not only word that makes them to be surrounded by some various sounds, but it's also us. Like we are not used to silence anymore. We just keep on like listening to the music. We are going out with people all the time. Almost no one has almost no one wants to just sit alone, or not even alone, but with someone. That's also another thing, right? That silence doesn't have to be a lonely activity. It can be shared, and it can be good too.
Like that. That's. I'm looking for the right word to explain it, but there's that silence that's so comfortable, where that when the first person eventually says something, the next person says something at the same time, and it's like, that's like those moments are really cool.
Or it even sounds weird to say anything, because
because then it's like forced, and you don't want to force it. You just gotta flow with it. Like if something comes to mind or something you want to say, but. Yeah, I'm a big fan of comfortable silence. I'll agree with you there. I mean, it's like you can literally walk into a room and have an air of comfort about you. That's what I like about it. There's actually, it reminds me. You get two types of things. You get the Madiba effect, and you get the Mandela effect. Right?
What's with Mandela effect?
The Madiba effect is that thing about the Mandela effect is when reality changes over time. But that's not what I want to get into right now. I want to get into the Madiba effect. Basically, Nelson Mandela, he had this aura about him that the people would say that every time he walked into a room, you just like, the whole, it just got so serene, and the whole dynamic changed in the room just by him walking into the room. It's that aura about him, like, I don't know, it's just something that really stuck with me. And I think that kind of goes with the comfortable silence part. Imagine sitting next to Nelson Mandela, and then like you just feel so chilled, like so at peace, and like wow, like no one has to say anything. You're both just like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But then people ask you, oh, so you met Nelson Mandela? What did you do? We just chilled.
We just chilled. Looked at the lake.
Ever since I remember, okay, probably I will mess that proverb, but what people usually say is that speech is silver and silence is gold, or golden, something like that. At least we have saying like this in Polish. I'm not sure if it's an international one, but
I don't think so.
Okay.
But it sounds
Well,
really.
It's a bit
nice.
messed by the translation, but yeah, basically that's the point. And I remember that seriously ever since I was little, like some of the teachers or like, let's say, role models in my life kept on repeating it from time to time, and it really stuck in my mind that that silence is definitely kind of like a good thing, that it brings comfort, it brings also a sense of intimacy. Because if we are comfortable to be silent with someone, then it means that we don't really need words, right?
Yeah. And you don't really have to like try or anything. It's just like it's all natural.
Just like be, basically.
Just be, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you just inspired me right now. Like, I can't remember last time someone told me just be.
And it's really hard to, given like the speed of our lifestyle and all that, it's really hard to have those moments with someone else, even though like those people are important in our life. They are like our best friends, partners, family. It's really like, given the amount of time we have, we try to squeeze the most out of it, so we really rarely just sit together to
You know, sometimes when they say, you know, like to give a moment of silence for something, that's quite deep actually. You know, I never thought about it before, but now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking, you know, when someone did something really amazing or whatever, people are generally like, can we give a moment of silence for this and this person, or if someone dies or something, you know, or whatever. And it's like, why silence? And that just says it all. I don't even have to say anything. The silence speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Yeah. And on that note, without the sound of crickets, I don't know, what do you think? You still have something you'd like to add about?
No, I think we can be silent now.
Yeah, I think we should be silent now, because that's the moral of the story. What's that line? Speech is silver, but silence is golden. Can you say it in Polish for all the Polish listeners?
Oh God, no, I forgot. Wait, because my mind doesn't want to change into another language. Mowa jest srebrem, a milczenie złotem.
Beautiful words. Straight from Alexandra. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys. And I'm going to shut my mouth now. So